Episode number 2. We are just over a week into the Donald Trump presidency of the United States. How you boys doing?
Doing pretty good. It's been a pretty wild, 9 days? 10 days?
Something like that. I don't know who's counting. It's 29th, so yeah.
Dude, it's been
9 days, baby.
Surviving.
Yeah.
Thriving.
Thriving, yes.
So what's your favorite executive order?
Favorite? I don't know if necessarily there's a favorite one. Like, they're all just kind of, it's really just of not doing stuff for 90 days. Like, when you read them all, it's just, we're going to stop this process for 90 days.
Well, think about, like, those interns that have to write them up, too. Like,
well, no,
like,
look at all the people that he fired. They, fired everybody from the other...
Well, I mean, interns don't make money, so...
That's true.
No, I'm not talking the interns. Like, the
government money.
Like, the staff, and they went through and found out, like, hey, like, we need to know, like, who you voted for, and like what your political affiliations are to make sure you can work with this administration.
Oh my god.
Which is pretty wild.
A loyalist, man. That's all you got to be.
That's it, dude. Well, I mean, apparently not, because they're not letting Elon into the White House. So.
Oh yeah, they're beefing right now.
Yeah,
they're having a little smackdown.
Well, it was this little salute, right?
Oh,
well, that might have been part of it. Maybe not the first one. He might have been able to get away with the first one, but I think that when he turned around and did it again to the crowd,
he doubled down.
Yeah.
Might not look great.
A little confusing, kind of like, sing hi, guys!
Yeah, I don't know. And then it's weird because everyone's like, oh, like he was just giving his heart to the crowd. And initially when he did it, he did like a regular, like 2 hands on the chest and then like made like a heart shape out to the crowd. And then this time he just did a Nazi salute. So like,
and then what? 2 days later, spoke at the German AfD rally.
It
has endorsed like the far right party of Germany,
right?
The modern
neo-Nazi
party.
It's not a great look.
No,
not a great look.
Yeah,
they don't let him in. The chief of staff for Trump basically made it where he can't go into like the West, like he doesn't have access to like the West Wing.
Well, yeah, because he doesn't have a direct line to the president.
Well,
anymore.
he thought he was supposed to have an office.
That was. And
they were like, dude, you're not going to have an office in the White House. Like, what are you doing? But apparently he was under a different like sense of what was going to go on after the election. After he like gave away like millions of dollars to people and gave a lot of money to the campaign. Yeah. But what a lineup at the campaign, dude. You got Musk, Bezos, Zuck, Google guy.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
Yeah, I don't either.
And then I think
thought it was Ron Swami.
Was Apple there? Was the Apple guy?
I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
And then like you had like some weird shit like the Jake Paul brothers for whatever reason were there.
I mean, you're always going to have celebrities, content creators, influencers, whatever.
I don't think they've had the Jake Paul brothers at an inauguration before.
I don't know.
I don't think they were invited to any of them. And now this time it was like literally like a YouTube galore.
Yeah, I honestly had no idea that any of those people were endorsing Trump to start with. I mean, like, really the only celebrities that I've heard of were, country music singers.
Well, I mean, Bezos just wants to be the richest guy again. But since he got divorced, now his wife kind of took half of that. So, So I think he's kind of just going, because when you look at like the net worth of all of them, I think Elon Musk, it's like $497 billion. And then the next runner-up is Jeff Bezos with like $280 billion.
Jesus Christ.
That's insane.
So like the second richest guy in the world is not even like realistically half of the way to the richest guy in the world.
That's crazy.
Right.
That is unreal.
Yeah.
I can't even fathom.
Well, it's like I don't think
having that much money.
Like when you get to large numbers like that, I don't think people can grasp like if you have $1 and you want to get to $1 million, you need to get $1 million.
Yeah.
If you have $1 million and you want to get to $1 billion, you need $1 billion. And he has almost $500 billion.
Jesus Christ.
Why are they still working? I mean, that's like the first thing I'm thinking.
Money and power, dude. Money and power,
yeah, that's right.
You want more?
Nobody wants to freaking...
I mean, yeah.
I mean, dude, if they doubled my salary right now, I'd be out. Dude,
Yeah,
I'd be like,
that'd be
all right, yep, thanks. I'm good.
Oh my god.
Just like live in some room somewhere with the TV on the floor. That's all I need.
Live with mom.
Yeah, that's all you got to do sometimes.
Yeah, billions of dollars.
Yeah, but don't let anyone know. Just wasn't there some guy that was like he was like homeless, but he like it turns out when he died he had like millions of dollars and just like lived like a freaking bum.
Why?
Like I think there's some people that are like that where they just. I remember hearing it. I don't remember like what the guy's name was.
I mean, yeah, I think some people, well, at least in this case, they build that wealth and they're just so afraid of losing that money that they don't want to spend it on win the lottery, anything.
Yeah.
If you win the lottery, you don't tell anybody.
No.
Nobody. Because, dude, there's a show, it's like The Lottery Destroyed My Life. And they just talk about, like, they win the lottery and then, like, they either blow it in, like, a year or they end up getting murdered or killing themselves.
Jeez. Yeah.
Is, like, your 3 most likely outcomes to winning the lottery.
Yeah. I actually just watched a thing on this, on people that win the lottery and how fast they can go through money. Like, hundreds of
Yeah, dude, you get a Lambo for every day of the week, dude. It's you're getting there.
People that live below those means and then, like, getting that money, they don't really know what to do with themselves, and they don't really, like, you know, count the idea that they're paying taxes on everything and that they have to pay taxes every year.
Yeah.
And then, there was an interview with, what's his face? The guy that's on Shark Tank. Cuba.
Mark Cuban?
Mark Cuban. Yeah, Mark Cuban.
So,
Cuba. Yeah, I'm confusing a lot of people right now. But, like, he was talking about people coming to him and asking for money. Because this interviewer asked him, do a lot of your friends or family ask you for money? And he's like, all the time.
Yes, sir.
Because Mark Cuban, I think he's a billionaire.
Probably.
But he's like, yeah, I give people money. And I'm thinking, like, okay, these people have, like, the means to give someone, like, $1 million. Like, if you have $1 billion, what's $1 million? But he's like, he won't do it. And
well, you can't, because once you start that, it's game over.
I don't know, though. If I have that much money, like, there'd be definitely family that I help out.
There'd be family, dude, but then you get someone, I need money for this and the whatever, dude. The next thing you know, you're just giving money out to everybody, people you don't even know.
Yeah.
And, like, that's kind of screwed up. There was a story, this guy who was, like, kind of uneducated, and he ended up winning the lottery, and the person who was, like, taking care of him ended up murdering him and was, like, writing these checks to, like, accept money and whatever, and people were asking about, like, hey, like, you know, can you help me with this? And, like, she would, like, text them from his phone.
Yes.
Being like, oh, sorry, I'm not around today, whatever, for, like, a while.
Yep.
And, like, she literally found out he won the lottery and killed him and then took his identity.
Yeah. Absolutely insane. I'm trying to remember the name of that case. I actually listened to it probably, like, a few months ago.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. Because he won, like, over $30 million. And I think in less than a year, he was already running out of money. And he hired her as an advisor, right?
If you want to turn the light on, too.
He hired her as an advisor?
Yeah, it was like a family friend or like someone that he knew. And he was like, okay, I'll go through and help you manage this money. And then she just killed him.
Yeah, because she said that he went away. He went on vacation.
Oh, yeah, he, like, went on a trip somewhere, and, like, I'm just, you know, watching everything for now. He'll be back, and, like, he never came back because he was, like, buried, like, underneath the freaking back patio or something. Yeah, that's pretty crazy that, like, people do. Like, if I won the lottery, dude, I wouldn't even want anyone to know.
No.
I'm not telling anybody.
No. Put in high-yield bank accounts and live off the interest.
Just chill, dude. You don't even need to do anything. Just pay your whatever to the state, your 40% or 50% or whatever they want, whatever racket they're running that day, and then go from there.
Start our own lottery company.
Yeah, why not? Dude, I remember when I was in Pensacola the first time, I would, like, play the lottery every week, and I was like, dude, if I win it while I'm here, dude, that's it. I'm just leaving.
I bought a lottery ticket on my 18th birthday.
How'd that go?
I lost.
Check.
Well, my mom was like, oh, you're 18. You could buy cigarettes now and gamble. I'm like, I'm going to do all those things right now. I don't think a mother should be encouraging their brand new 18-year-old son to go smoke cigarettes and go gamble, but...
I mean, just do whatever. Dude, you're 18. Not her problem.
Yeah, I can do what I want.
Yeah. Something happens, dude. I don't know this guy.
Yeah, so anyway, I did what she said, and I went out and bought a lottery ticket, and I lost everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, what, $5, maybe?
It's like $5, dude. Today could be like 80. So, never know, dude. Could have won. So if you decided to gamble, you decided to be a degenerate.
Stupid
gambler.
idiot.
Yeah,
No, it's
paying into the state's game, dude. It's rigged.
Nobody actually wins those, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I never understand. Like when they have those monster jackpots, and it's like, it's up to like they have some of them where it's like a freaking like $500 million, $1 billion or whatever, and they're like nobody won. It's like, what do you mean nobody won? Like who's holding on to this money?
Yeah,
it's not just sitting somewhere. Like you got to pay up at some point.
Well, isn't the whole lottery system isn't it ran by the state?
Yeah. That's why, like, if you were to go to like Tennessee, right, and you were to get a lottery ticket there and win, you would have to go back to Tennessee,
right,
to claim it, because it's not like a federal. It would be wide, dude. If they had a federal one, you know how much money would be in that thing, dude.
Congratulations, you just assumed the national debt.
Yeah.
oh my God.
But it's like reverse lottery. Like you might get to the end and they might be like, "You owe us." Like we're taking everything you own now. That'd be pretty wild.
Yeah. So DEI.
Yeah, not great. Not the best.
Yeah. What's going on with that?
Let me tell you, they're getting rid of everybody.
Oh yeah.
Getting everybody. Well, there was a thing I saw it with the ATF, and in all of their brightness, they decided that they would just do a little namesy change on their website, and they took someone who was like their DEI like advisor or whatever, and they just put it was
Director.
Like senior like manager or whatever. And it's like, first of all, if you're just listed as senior manager, you don't have a job. Okay. Hate to say it, you don't have a job. But like that in and of itself is a problem, because the administration put something out where like, hey, if you try and circumvent what we're doing, we're gonna it's gonna be worse for you. Like it's because the thing is, they're not right now anyway. I don't know what they're gonna do in 90 days or whatever it's up. They're not firing anybody right now. It's paid administrative leave.
Mm-hmm.
But
then what's the point of the paid leave? Are they just gonna?
They're either gonna do that so they can investigate and fire them, which is what I think is going to happen. I don't think any of those people are going to get a different job somewhere. Or the more hopeful option is, okay, you did this before you went into that DEI role. That's what you're going to go back to. And it might be a pay cut or whatever, but you still have a job if you want it. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be,
they're just going to cut
we investigated and you're gone.
Okay.
Is what's going to happen. But I think that's until the very end of February, beginning of March is when they should be coming back with that.
Okay.
So have to wait and see. But yeah, right now they're like stomping everything. And then they want, I don't know if you guys saw they had like those like 88,000 new IRS agents. And Trump got on the horn and was like, we don't need 88,000 IRS agents, but we could use you on the border. And he wants to send the however many 80,000, 90,000 IRS agents to assist with the border.
He's going to make the migrants pay tax.
That'd be crazy.
Border tax.
That'd be crazy. And then they just sent, I know Abbott just sent 1,500 National Guard or whatever down to the border. What they're doing down there, I have no idea, dude. It looks like they're just dragging barbed wire and concertina wire all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the
looks
National
like a fucking
Guard.
disaster.
That's all the National Guard has done every time they've gone to the border, right? They set up those barriers or some sort of barricade, physical system that prevents migrants from coming across any sort of border or entry.
Yeah.
Right, but like, dude, that freaking... Then what? You set the shit up and then you're just standing there?
Yep.
I guess
That's
so.
exactly what they do.
Yeah.
They can't
For
actually
friggin-
make arrests. They can't make a lawful arrest, especially for asylum seekers. Because, like, at that point...
Well, they're not even doing... They shut down that asylum app that the government put up.
Mm-hmm.
So the government in Biden's administration put up an app for, like, getting through the process for seeking asylum or citizenship. And they literally just shut it down. Like,
yeah, but they're
disabled the app.
Well, but they're still saving the information on there.
I mean,
so
they have the information saved, but no one can go further in that process. So you had a bunch of people that were going through the process, as fucked up as that process is, and then they just shut the app down. And it's like, okay, that's... I could see if you're going through and you're like, hey, these people didn't come in legally. They're whether they're committing other crimes other than that or not. They didn't come in legally. And doing like deportations and stuff, sure, right? Like there is a reasoning behind that. There's a law behind it. But when you have people that are going through to do the right thing, and then they're like, no, we're going to just shut it off. Like now...
Yeah, people had planned flights. They arranged travel with the U.S. government.
Now you're taking people that were doing the correct thing and then incentivizing them to do the incorrect thing. Because had they had just come here without being documented, they wouldn't have... Like, they could still be in the U.S. Because unless they find them, right? Which, like, good luck trying to find someone that you don't know is here.
Like, I mean, as long as they don't go into Mississippi.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think Mississippi has the highest rate of immigrants coming in.
The House bill was it 1484, 1486?
1484, I think, is the one for the bounty hunters.
Yeah. Bounty hunter
and
old
fucking dog.
If you're
got that dog in me.
If you've been found to be an illegal alien, you are imprisoned for life.
Yeah, no parole.
No possibility of parole,
nothing,
no bail, nothing.
Life.
No extradition, no nothing.
Yeah, and if the person who reported you, let's say you're the illegal person crossing the border into Mississippi, and I report you through the appropriate channels that Mississippi set up, I get paid $1,000.
It worked in Poland. It worked in Poland.
This is a real bill. So
it's a real thing. Yeah, he showed me the other day.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's been introduced. I think only like one person is backing it, or I don't know what we saw. We had looked on the Mississippi Bill Tracker website. It's so it still has to go through.
It's still being cooked right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still in the oven.
It's being reviewed.
It's got to go through quality assurance next.
Yeah, but the big takeaways from this bill are the imprisonment for life, the bounty hunter program, and then the person who reports the illegal immigrant would be paid $1,000 from the state.
So are they being, when these illegals are being arrested in Mississippi, are they going to Mississippi institutions? Or can they be sent anywhere else? Can they only be tried in Mississippi?
I don't know. That wasn't in the bill.
That
At least
wasn't in there.
I didn't see it.
Interesting.
I mean, I just don't know how many immigrants are coming in from Mexico and then being like, I'm going to go to Mississippi.
Well,
that was like a fun.
Like, I don't want to go to Mississippi.
Yes, they would be held in Mississippi because I remember part of the bill mentioned Mississippi will hold them until the federal government or another federal agency wants to take that.
Right, but I'm saying like for a state to, like, I don't agree with that bill, and I don't think you should be like paying people to do it. But I don't know how many people are coming into the country and being like, I'm going to go to Mississippi. They usually go stay in like Texas, Oklahoma, something like that, or they go up more north to like Chicago.
Well, speaking of Oklahoma, they're now requiring proof of U.S. citizenship to attend school.
Yeah,
like for kindergartners and stuff.
Like any school-age child, they require which is not, I don't think, a problem that Oklahoma should be trying to figure out. What are they, 49th in the state for education?
They got other problems, man. I don't think Oklahoma's got the time to be dealing with that.
No.
I don't think they have time to be dealing with that, dude. Yeah, that's risky.
Especially like with schools.
That's risky.
That brings up the birthright issue as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, like, especially like these kids, they, on paper right now, they are citizens. If they're born in the United States, their parents might not be. But, like, that's kind of interesting because, like, I don't know what it actually looks like, what birthright looks like for children going to school, and if that would actually flag their family. But,
well, I mean, if they're not checking citizenship, they would just be looking for, like, their birth certificate, which if they have one, right? If they have a birth certificate, like, I think that's as far as it would go.
Okay.
But
yeah, I don't know what the specifics
I don't know how they would
looking for.
I don't know how they would manage that because, like, with anything, you need, like, you can have all these grand ideas, but, like, trying to get it organized is a completely different beast. Like, it's not going to just be like, oh, we got this cool idea. Like, you need to have people to look at all that.
Creates a lot of other issues because, like, I feel like especially if they do revoke this birthright, that the kids can stay, but then the parents can't. So I mean, like, we see it every day. Like, children are taken away from their parents, but then, like, think of there's over 8 million undocumented illegals in the United States. How many of those have kids? Like, that's a lot of kids going into a foster program.
Well, and that's my thing. Like, with anything coming, whether it be like immigration, abortion, whatever. everyone's like, oh, we need to be pro-life, and then they're pro-death penalty, and then they also don't want to do anything with like improving the foster care system. So it's like, what are you pro?
Nobody really wants to meet in the middle.
Because you can't tell me that you're pro-life and then are like, okay, like these parents aren't ready or aren't capable of having this kid, so like they're just going to go into the foster system and just like be there forever. Yeah. Like I know a lot of people growing up that were in like foster care, and like we had a lot of like foster like houses where like there'd be like, 10 kids in a house. And you're like, dude, there's no shot, dude.
Well, then it's so hard to adopt. It's expensive to adopt too.
Well, and then you can get like you can go through all the process of it and then get denied, or like the person who's like especially if it's something where the child isn't born yet, like the parents can pull out of that at any time, so they can have the kid and be like, no, we're not doing it. And at that point, you've already paid for all their medical expenses because that's part of that deal. Is like, hey, you're pregnant. You guys, for whatever reason, don't want or unable to have this kid.
Yeah,
I will pay for all of your medical expenses to adopt your kid. And they're like, okay. And then once they have their kid, they could be like, no, I don't want to. And then you have to try and recoup all of your medical expenses.
Yeah, because I looked into adoption a little bit, and specifically the state of Texas.
Right.
And even at a minimum, you're paying, I think, from $5,000 to $10,000, and the cheapest option or the cheapest route is to adopt through the state. So, right. Whatever case maybe CPS has, I don't know the specifics about it, but I mean that's crazy that even the cheapest route is $5,000 to $10,000.
Yep.
And and that's just, you're going to get what you're going to get. Yeah. It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's not cheaper or easier. That's why so many people who adopt are adopting from other countries. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing to adopt from other countries. If anything, that's just a sign, like, how faulty the U.S. adoption system is.
Right. Yeah, it's basically you're just stuck. Like, if you get put in foster care, like, that's it. Because the likelihood of... And then, of course, the older you get, the less... Like, no, there's not many people that are going to adopt a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Right? People don't... Like, that's just not what people are looking for if they want to adopt. They want to have that kid and like watch them grow up.
Well, like, could you also imagine, because I've never heard adoption going out of the country, because like, we hear about all the time like adopting from other countries, but like, could you imagine being an American child in an orphanage being adopted from someone in China
or Russia or something?
Russia.
Dude, can you imagine being like
adopted
a
from
white
New Hampshire,
a white dude who gets adopted to a Chinese couple in China, and you come back to the States and try to speak English and you're talking in a Chinese accent?
Ooh.
People think you're racist.
Oh, bro.
Not great, dude. Not great.
Not good.
That would, yeah.
I mean, also for the child going to China, what a shell shock. It's like, where am I going to? It's like Shanghai. Have fun. They got a Disney.
Yeah, that's right.
Almost like America.
They also have a Paris.
What?
Yeah, China has like a replica of Paris.
Yeah.
Dude, they have everything.
I mean, it's probably nicer than actual Paris.
Oh, it's probably way cleaner.
Paris is kind of a dump.
Yeah.
I've heard it smells.
It's not great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that river.
The
Seine River, dude.
Oh, dude, they were having all sorts of issues with it for the Olympics.
The Olympic people were throwing up.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Dude, they were getting
bodies
sent,
in there.
yeah,
Dude.
they were getting sent to the hospital.
Why would you swim in that? That's gross.
Well, and then France kept saying, "Oh no, it's clean." They're trying to do all these initiatives to get it clean.
Oh, it's not
get
clean.
the bacteria out. Yeah,
that's like going down the Riverwalk down here and being like it's clean, dude. No, it's not.
Well, dude, like they did this whole thing, and the citizens were like, "All right, if you think it's so clean, you being, them talking to the French government, like,
go ahead and eat that pure concentrated gluten.
Get in the water." And they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't get in the water.
No,
or nothing,
dude. It's because it's disgusting.
Oh, no. Third leg right out of their ass.
What I'm thinking of is, Macron said it was safe, right? So he was going to do this whole thing, this whole organized event where he gets into the water. He was going to have cameras out.
He was in like a garbage bag.
But so yeah, I'm in it.
But they had like they had contacted media to like be there and film the whole event, right? Well, word gets out that Macron had planned this thing. So
dude, it's like a schoolyard dare. Everyone just showing up, show up to the Seine River at 3. Macron's getting wet, dude.
Well, just wait.
He got triple dog dared.
So then these French citizens in Paris now decide to organize and hold this thing called the poop protest. So they were able to figure out from the current and time of day and the water levels how long it would take if a bunch of people pooped upstream, how long it would take to get to Macron.
A couple corn boats.
The very minute he said he would get into the water. I don't like.
Did he get in the water?
Dude, I don't know. I think word ended up getting out that the citizens were going to hold this poop protest, and Macron ended up just pulling out of the whole idea.
Sir, a second turds at the water. Yeah, that's pretty gross.
Yeah, but these Olympic athletes were getting in the water,
Drinking it.
Dude, they had to go. An overwhelming amount of
now. My thing
had
is
to get treated.
So they're gonna do that, right? They're gonna swim in a river, and like I guess that's cool and all, but wouldn't it be easier just to use a pool like normal?
No,
wouldn't that be?
No, this was for a different event. I think this was for the
triathlon.
The triathlon. That's I think
Yeah,
that's what
it'd
it was.
be cheaper for them to flood out the Louvre and then swim in that than actually clean the Seine.
But they tried to use like turtles, I think, at one point to clean it out. I don't know.
Turtles don't want to be in there.
Those turtles are dead.
Those poor things.
They came out Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but they speak French, and that's why we haven't heard about them. They're not interesting.
Sorry, we've seen this before. Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That seems like not a lot of good ideas were put together for that one.
No.
They were just stringing together bad idea after bad idea, and we'll do it live.
Dude, but the will of the French citizen to time everything out perfectly.
Dude, they're pretty crazy because like they'll just. I think that's with like, if you go anywhere though, like if you find someone that gets like, I don't want to say petty enough because that seems like a pretty normal thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you find a group of people that are like, hey, no, fuck this, like you could figure whatever out.
You could, but
You
like
could figure it out. You could time it.
there's good material there. Like I would have called Johnny Knoxville out and like got some cameras. Just like, hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville and this is Macron and we're about to jump in the river. This is Jackass. And you jump off and you hear the Jackass guitar playing.
Dude, there was a thing on Reddit a couple of years ago where this company, they put a camera facing straight up a flagpole. And it was, I forget what they were doing. And people were trying to find out where this camera was to like take it down.
Mm-hmm.
And like, of course, they're not going to say. And people went through and found out based off of planes flying overhead and like where the sun was hitting the flagpole and stuff, roughly where it was. And then there was audio on the camera. And they would drive around hitting the horn on their car until they got closer. And they're like, that's the flagpole. And then they just ripped the camera off. Like, dude, people are, if you ever watch those like GeoGuessers,
Yeah.
you ever see those
are
people?
Nuts.
Like, so I'll do it a little bit, but like, dude, I got to move around a lot. And, like, I got another screen with like what road signs look like in Europe. You know, like it's just I'm cheating. But there's people literally that'll get like dumped into some freaking Afghan village, and like they can't move the camera, they can't do anything, and they're like, oh yeah, it's probably this province because like
The soil,
this freaking
and,
rock over here is like only in this area of Afghanistan.
That level of intelligence is mind blowing.
It's scary.
Like you have memorized the world,
Right.
and you know based off of a rock. Like, oh, it's this famous or this not even famous. It's of some obscure neighborhood in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And they're able to accurately guess where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean there are things like signs and like road painting and stuff that you can tell like, oh, it's from this country. When you get dumped off in the middle of a fucking field, dude. Like, what? What do you mean? You're gonna just tell based off of what some tree is where you are?
Yeah,
Seems a little ridiculous.
I'm not that smart.
Yeah,
No.
no, I would die, dude. I would die. You could dump me off in the green belt back here, dude, and I'd be dead.
But dude, that'd be
Wouldn't know where
perfect.
to go.
See, I get to a river and be like, oh crap, was I supposed to walk upstream or downstream? And then I died because I walked the wrong way. And I didn't drink the water.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as it's not the river in Paris, you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's true. Well, then I'd be in the city.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm lost. I don't speak the language. I'm screwed.
Yeah.
They're just talking to you in English with a French accent. You're like, I'm sorry, I don't know.
I'm screwed.
I'm never gonna make it out of here.
Sir, please, where can I take you?
I don't know what you're saying.
I don't know.
Just
Anyone speak English here?
got my own show, Naked and Afraid, in Paris. Filming that myself.
Yeah. Got a GoPro.
Prop up your cell phone. Or
Hey guys, I'm naked and I'm scared.
It's just one of those chest mount GoPros, but it just on the ground.
No, he's
All you hear is heavy breathing and just fucking flonging around. Is this a yard or a meter here? I don't know.
You just see flopping wiener and my feet flying all over the camera.
Yeah. Like a fucking duck walking around.
Please, can I just get a croissant?
It's like Carl. Give me that croissant.
Croissant.
Carl. Yeah, from Jimmy Neutron.
Oh.
Can I get a piece of that croissant?
Croissant.
Yeah.
I haven't thought of that show in a while.
Yeah, it's a show I have not watched.
That's like the
in
show where like
years.
the animators like wanted to die because like they were so
Why?
because so the way that like especially when you look at stuff for like Disney and Nickelodeon or whatever, they're once a company like that finds out that a show is like popular, they will pump that fucking show out. And the animation style at the time that they did for Jimmy Neutron was like brand new, like that 3D, like
Okay.
not clay but not real looking, was like brand new. And they were like, cool, Jimmy Neutron's a big hit. Like, we need a new episode every single week.
Yeah.
And like to do one of those episodes took them all about full time a week to do.
Yeah.
And like there's still mistakes in them. Like people will go in and like find them. But they were basically working all the time to like try and animate this shit. And then they would just get dunked on by like the higher ups.
Yeah.
Being like, why are there so many mistakes in it?
Well, like, yeah.
And they're like, do you know how hard it is to like freaking animate a hand?
Yeah.
Like, that's why in like a lot of like video games and stuff, like you only have 4 fingers. Because like trying to get, even like AI can't really get a fucking hand down. Like if you look at a picture to see if it's AI, the first thing I do is look at the hands.
Yeah.
Because there's always an extra finger or like, there, you know, there's like, they have like 2 right hands or whatever. Like it can't quite grasp how to make a hand.
Dude, speak. I was going to say, well, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, if you guys go back and watch a lot of that stuff, like what the first real big CGI movie back in the day was Jurassic Park. You know, that was believable for the community to like watch it, be like, wow, it's a real freaking dinosaur. If you go back, you can see it all. And like, The Matrix was the big one after that. So like, was it Keanu Reeves took every bit of money he made off that movie and he gave it all to the animators, the people that actually made the CGI.
Dude, Keanu Reeves is just a stand-up guy.
He's a wonderful person.
Yeah.
I don't think like there's anything bad that you could say about him.
No.
No, I'm sure some people try and say stuff just because if someone's high up,
I mean, yeah. But
they want to sound
he's such a
good
good guy that nobody will believe it.
No.
Yeah.
Like, they'll know it's just
They'll be like,
slander.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Probably.
He's in some of my favorite movies too. He acted with Patrick Swayze, Kevin Busey in Point Break.
Yeah.
Never
Was
seen
that,
it.
was that before Kevin Busey got all jacked up?
That's right.
Hell yeah.
Before Horse Teeth went on a rampage.
Yeah. Before he went crazy.
Almost saw him in Pensacola when I went down there for my first school. And I just wanted to go see him flip a golf cart. That's all I wanted. Just
Wouldn't be
get him
bad.
to freak out and just grab some old person on a golf cart and just flip
Just
it.
flip him.
Wait, is that you saw a famous person in Hawaii? Was that
I hit a famous person in Hawaii.
was it Kevin Busey or something?
No, it was Lou Diamond Phillips.
Oh, Lou Diamond.
Yeah. We were drinking at Waikiki, and we had like one of those little foam footballs that
Okay.
you'd go and you'd like throw around, and I was getting a little rambunctious, right? We were a couple deep at that point, and I just belted this thing, right? And it friggin' hit the water and boom, right off this guy's head. So I like, stumble my way over. Of course, it's like just over like waist deep water, so like you can't really make it there quick and without looking like a complete idiot anyway. So I make my way over. I was like, sorry, man. He's like, yeah, no problem. Whatever. Like, you guys are having a good time. I was like, all right, yeah, thanks for being understanding. And we just keep going. And then later on, Stamper's like, you know who that guy was that you hit? And I'm like, no. He's like, dude, that was Lou Diamond Phillips.
Dude, it bugged me all day because when he went over to him, like after he hit him in the head, I was a little less sober than he was, so I felt bad. I'm like, oh my gosh, like Tyler's killing people at a very crowded beach. We've seen this situation before, and like I remember it bugged me the whole time. I'm on the beach and I'm texting my wife. I'm like, hey, who's the guy that was the brother in the George Lopez show? And she's like, I was like, that was like Andy Garcia, right? And she's like, no, that's not even close. I was like, who the hell was it? And like, eventually,
you might have to move a little closer to
yep.
thing, yeah.
I pulled it up, and yeah, it was shot for shot. It was Lou Diamond Phillips. Like, he walked up the beach between us, and I was just like, oh.
Well, that's when didn't we see someone else that time too? Before I got that ticket, when we were walking back from breakfast, they had like that bus, like Hollywood bus, going by. They were filming a movie or something.
No, that was when we went to Matsumoto's, and we saw the guy from Big Bang Theory up there.
No, it wasn't then, because this is the day I got the ticket, because we stopped at that mall in the morning, we got breakfast, and we made that long walk to the beach, and there was all those buses coming through, and they were like, oh yeah, they're filming a movie, whatever. And I think that's the same day.
We saw that one chick that was on meth.
Oh yeah, the lady that, she told me she was president of the military, and I said, all right, go to the barracks, I'll see you later. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. And then the cops showed up and were like, can I see your ID? And then they started writing me a ticket. So, yeah, it was fun.
Dismissed the president of the military.
Yeah.
I've never had any cool celebrity encounter.
I don't know if that was cool. I didn't even know it was Lou Diamond Phillips. I just thought I hit some dad. He's out there with his daughter, you know?
I mean,
I drilled him too. Like, this wasn't like, oh, it skipped and like hit him.
Did he like? No, dude. Was he upset?
No, dude, he was chill. He was like, yeah, you guys are having a blast, dude. I was like, thanks for being understanding. Like,
it was crowded.
Yeah, and he threw the ball back and I went back and we started playing again.
What a guy.
Yeah, but dude, I mean, I cooked him with it. Like, this wasn't like a light hit, dude. Yeah, there might be some damages from that. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I wrecked them.
But anyway, what I was gonna say is earlier you were talking about the AI with like AI and CGI.
Yeah.
With Jimmy Neutron. I was gonna change talk a little bit. That new AI that China just came out with.
Oh yeah,
DeepSeek.
Yes.
Yeah.
DeepSeek. Yeah. Well, it already took over. What is it? The new one? Ask AI, Chat AI, the US one.
ChatGPT or
ChatGPT.
OpenAI.
OpenAI. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, OpenAI owns the algorithm for ChatGPT.
Right.
And the thing with ChatGPT is though that it costs like billions of dollars essentially to run and maintain the infrastructure.
Right.
Where I think for the Chinese DeepSeek AI, it's in the millions, like $6 million.
Wow.
Which is way less.
Yeah.
However, with ChatGPT, you could ask it anything, and it'll give you there's no really filters on it. It's sort of, I guess, unbiased to say. Where DeepSeek, if you start asking it about the Chinese government or about the Chinese Communist Party, it will it will ignore the question or try to change the topic. So it's like, all right, the cost is a lot lower to run this program, but
dude,
is it good? Like how biased is this AI program? How biased is the algorithm that's involved in this?
There was a video I was watching, one of the Moist Critical videos for Charlie, the one YouTuber guy who looks like Jesus. He's one everyone's always confusing with Jesus on Facebook. You don't know who he is?
No idea.
Okay, so he's a pretty popular YouTuber, and he was doing this story on this. It was like a dating website, right? But it's AI, and they do dating, and then there's also one where it does not like a psychiatrist, but more like therapy, like online therapy, but it's all AI, and it's pretty difficult to determine that it's AI. He knows that it's AI because he was over there asking it questions, and because the issue is basically this AI was not being very helpful to this person that actually thought it was a real person, and like they ended up killing themselves.
Oh my gosh!
Because they found out that the lady they were talking to was also AI, and then he went to this therapy thing, which was also AI.
Whoa!
And he ended up killing himself. And Charlie went to the website and was like asking it questions, and he was like, if I didn't know that this was AI, he's like, you wouldn't immediately be able to tell, because like it like lists stuff out, but it also like will respond to you in like a very human manner, where like it'll be like, okay, like I'll be back in like an hour, like I have some other stuff that I need to do, and it'll like make it seem like it's doing something, but it's not a person. It's just a computer program. And like that's where we're going with this, is very much stuff like you won't be able to tell, because they even have a video for AI where it's this guy and he's like, none of this is real. I'm AI. This video's AI. The audio's AI. The music in the background is all AI generated. You won't believe it, but it is. And like, you can't tell. Can't tell at all.
It's nuts, dude. Well, Trump wants to invest, what, $500 billion into AI, just to build the infrastructure. I don't know, like, what.
I don't know what we would end up doing with it where it wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, I have no idea either.
I mean, it has a massive use militarily.
Yep.
Right, it does, but like the problem when it comes to doing anything AI and having it be in charge of anything militarily related is, in the beginning it's going to be good because it's going to make decisions that aren't biased. It's going to look at information and make a decision.
Yep.
But once those decisions start coming into the pool of information that it's pulling from, it's going to start just making its own decisions based off of decisions it has made previously.
That's some Skylink shit.
So, like, the beginning, everything's going to be dope because it's going to be, okay, cool. We can give it this prompt with all of this information, and it will give us an unbiased answer of, like, if you do this, this is what's going to happen. If you do this, this is what's going to happen. This is what you should end up doing. Once it does that enough times, though, it's going to look at the information. It's going to look at what it said before, and it's going to just do its own thing to make an answer for the question.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be using its previous answers and like lessons learned?
Yeah,
I guess?
but it's like one of those things too where if you keep asking AI the same question, it'll give you a different answer every time.
Oh, I gotcha.
So
okay,
just because it told you the correct answer once that you don't even know is the correct answer, you're just kind of using it as guidance. I wouldn't say to you like, oh, the AI said do this. Once it starts taking all that information and it keeps rerunning it through the same thing again, it's like if you keep scanning a photocopy and then print it and then scan it again, like eventually you're not going to be able to read what the fuck it says.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's just too, like, blown out. And that's where that's going to go.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it has its uses for sure, even at that strategic level, you know, but it's going to, like you said, it's going to...
Yeah, at one point you had to reset it. You'd have to...
Will it let you reset it? Will it... Because they had, I forget, I want to say it was one of the ChatGPTs, the older ones, where they basically were going to get rid of it. And they found out that it was trying to save its own code somewhere else.
Oh.
To, like, not get dismantled.
Life.
Like, they were trying to delete it, and since they were trying to delete it, it knew that it was used enough and built off of other things enough that it still needs to be there. So it was saving itself off to other places, like the base code, and that's changing things in the code itself to like not get deleted.
That's actually kind of freaky.
So like, granted, it doesn't do anything that like, okay, cool, ChatGPT won't delete because it's fucking changing stuff.
Yeah.
But could you imagine if you're like, no, like we need to override not firing these nukes, and it's like, no, I changed all the launch codes.
That's how the 100 started. That TV show that I terribly explained at work the other day.
Oh yeah,
yeah, yeah. You have this AI program that launches the nukes, and it becomes the end of the world, and the program tries to be stopped, and it can't.
It can't.
Like,
It's
that's
like,
what
okay,
you're
cool.
explaining.
I changed the cancellation codes. You don't have them anymore. I do.
Well, then you get into the Terminator movies. That's what that's about.
Yeah.
And dude, you even look how sketchy even right now ICBMs and shit are, because once they're launched, like, they can't be, like, you can't alter anything. It's just, that's it. Like, unless somebody is able to shoot this thing down, which, like, good luck.
Yeah, but they could still be turned off remotely.
Not the warhead.
They can self-destruct them.
I guess that's what I'm saying.
I don't think they can. I don't think there's anything that they can do once it launches. I think they can change
Maybe with some of the older stuff,
like the predetermined targets for the warhead. But I don't think that there's anything to do, because once that rocket fires off, like, it's not a computer system firing the rocket. It just, the rocket goes, and then it's stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. They can change, like, okay, we want it to go from, let's say it was Russia launching it, like, oh, we wanted to go from New York to DC instead. Like, they can change that, but you can't be like, stop the rocket.
Dude,
or like
nuts.
detonate or whatever. Like, there's no option for that.
So, but since we're on the topic of all these, missiles and rockets, whatever. So, one of the directives that Pete Hegseth put out, there was, 4 things. I'm just going to talk about one of them.
Right.
Was talking about building essentially an Iron Dome for the U.S.
I saw that.
Yeah, it was the next generation.
They're going to shoot an airliner
air
down
and
with
missile
it.
defense.
They're going to shoot an airliner down, dude. We already did it with the Seaways. They're going to shoot an airliner. I'm calling it right now. If we put an Iron Dome up, dude, they're going to put it right outside of Dulles, and they're going to be just launching shit.
I don't know, man. I think this is going to be pretty good.
I don't.
Well,
Why do we need an Iron Dome, dude?
I'm not saying everything else is good, but I feel like maybe this.
Dude, we found out apparently those UAP things in New Jersey were the FAA doing something. So, dude, we're good, man. Why do we need an Iron Dome?
I've been kind of trying to figure that one out too, because like Iran has their own system, Israel has their own system, but that makes sense because they're under
getting
constant threat
bombed
every
all
single day. Like for the United States to have it, I don't see the use.
Yeah.
No really
Okay.
utility.
Yeah. You got to.
I mean, maybe if you pull out of every single military alliance, you might need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
Well, I was just listening to this to the BBC podcast. They were saying if Trump invades Greenland,
Sure.
that's a territory of Denmark. Denmark is a NATO country. Does that mean we've now invaded a NATO country and NATO has to react to the U.S.? Like what's?
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure there's somewhere deep in there that it's just like if one of those countries that are a part of this alliance does anything remotely, against their well, I don't know what it is, but like their accord, then yeah, I think they would retaliate. But I also saw something else on Greenland that apparently UK has already been trying to purchase Greenland before the United States showed interest.
Really?
Yeah, but is the UK going to be able to buy it?
I don't know.
You
I
know?
don't know what their situation looks like. I mean, like I actually just saw that yesterday, and they were saying,
And they know, like, the weather's not any better there than it is in the UK, right? Like, it's basically like this out, just, like, cloudy.
it's like this.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
Ugh.
why would they want to buy it?
I don't know why anybody really wants to buy it.
Apparently, California put in a proposition to become its own country.
What?
To, which they can't just do, because, like, it's against the, I don't know, the Constitution or something. Yeah, better. So I don't know exactly how that would work, but apparently they're trying to run, like, different, like, tests to see if they're, like, viable to do that. I mean, they're the 5th largest economy in the world. So, like, probably, but also at the same time, like, they're on fire right now. So,
I mean, Texas has been trying to do that for
yeah, but dude, Texas can't even keep the power on if it gets too cold out.
because they're on their own grid. California shares a grid.
Right, but that's all fine and dandy. Texas is on its own grid, but, like, they can't even get that grid to work. You can't secede from somewhere and be like, oh, we're the best. Like, that's always the crazy thing with Texas. Like, you talk to people and they're like, oh yeah, Texas, we could just leave the country, and it's like, dude, you don't produce anything.
Yeah.
What do you produce? Oil?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Other places produce it too. So, like, now
Oil
what?
and beef.
Yeah, and other places produce beef too. So you're not winning.
If anything, it would make like California can thrive
Well,
on its own. I think.
there's the population. The California, I think California is the largest populated state in the country. I think there's over like 30 million people that live.
I mean, it's probably between that, Florida, or New York.
Yeah.
I mean, those are like usually the big three when you see some shit go down.
Yeah. I mean, like, at least in California, I mean, I remember for a while, when I lived in California, they were trying to make Southern California its own state.
They were trying to split it up into three, South, Central, and Southern.
Yes. Which honestly sounds like a better idea. Because that would actually cut.
But, like, I don't even see, because they have to get it put through Congress to secede. But, like, the Democrats aren't going to go for it because that's 55 juicy electors, dude. Juicy. And they're not going to let that happen. Because then who's next in line? Texas, Florida.
Yeah.
They're never going to let that happen, dude.
Yeah, all the southern states.
Maybe if we get Canada, maybe they'll allow it. But I don't think that's going to happen either. So,
Canada,
they want to be the 51st state, but it's like 2 times the size of the U.S.
Well, they don't want to.
They don't want to. There's some people that do, probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
There's some people.
You want to see what it's all about?
Yeah. You got maple syrup down there.
Dude, when we were...
That was a weird, like, Irish... I don't know what I was doing.
Well, speaking of maple syrup, I was... When we were...
You got some maple syrup, lad.
When we were in Panama, and we were partying with the Canadian Navy.
Yeah, they're fun.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
But they at one point, they were like, oh, you're on a Canadian ship. You got to have maple syrup.
Dude.
So they
it's like a Cracker Barrel, like little mini maple syrup bottle.
Yeah, here we are drinking super cheap whiskey. I mean, it's basically just...
It's Crown.
Yeah, so we're drinking Crown, super cheap, and here they're talking about syrup. That we're on a Canadian ship. You gotta try some, right?
Right.
They bring out shot glasses, and
you took a shot of syrup.
Yeah, they made us take a shot of maple syrup.
Was it like warm? So it was like watery?
Yeah. So we took it, and then you hear some guy in the background go, "Oh, that's not even the good stuff."
that's not even the top shelf.
That's literally, and then this guy's like, "That's what I'm talking about," and he picks up the jug and he like tips it up like a moonshine, and goes to town on it. And that was a lot of sugar because we did the Crown shot, we chased it with the maple syrup, and we did another Crown shot.
That's hard, dude. That's hard as fuck.
Dude, the Canadians were fun though.
They were a great time.
We just did like because I didn't do anything with the Navy. I did stuff with the Canadian Coast Guard, which they aren't military. It's all civil service for them.
Mm-hmm.
So they were going hard, dude. They were pulling in freaking beers in hand. Dude, they didn't give a fuck. And I'm like, this is where I want to be.
Damn.
We just hung out with them the whole time. It was great.
Yeah, but the Canadians have 3. They had 3 bars.
Yeah, they had a bar on boat. Yep.
The boat is what, like I think it was like 430, 440 feet, something like that.
Yeah. They have co-ed berthings.
Oh, I don't know.
I think
the Coast Guard one had co-ed because the guy was telling me.
I guess it would make sense if it's civil service. I mean, I don't know.
He was like, you know what's really cool about this? And I was like, what? He said, we got a bar on board. And I was like, oh, that's cool. He's like, you know what else is really cool about it? And I'm like, you get a drink on board? He's like, well, but it's co-ed berthings.
That sounds like a sexual harassment suit if I've ever heard of.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my 2 top things that I learned about the Canadian Coast Guard.
See,
well, I mean, if they're civil service, I'm sure they don't have like those military.
They don't have it to, but they didn't give a fuck. Dude, they were there for one thing and one thing only, and that was to party.
Dude, party and fuck.
Dude, we would go, so like this.
That's why I joined the military.
Like this whole week, they would get almost every single buoy tender to Juneau, Alaska, and you would moor up like 3 or 4 deep. And we were SOFA because our CO was an 05 instead of an 04 like the rest of them. Mm-hmm. So we were the first one moored up, and then everyone moored up to us. So like getting back at night was easy for me because like you just get on board and go. But you would show up and like there'd be someone living in your rack, and you're like, what do you want? They're like, fur, and you're like, dude, you're like 3 down. You gotta go.
Dude, I'd be so pissed.
But like we would go out with them, dude, and like during the day it was all classes, and like everyone was just dead because you were out until the bars closed, and they would stay open later for us because it was like a big thing for the town when we would all show up. And like you would get done at like 3 or 4 in the morning, get back 4:30, get up at 6:30, breakfast, walk to class, be in class all day, and then you just go out and do it again for a week.
Was that the time you told me a story where like you guys had like a 3 high, and someone said that someone was throwing up?
Yeah.
You looked at the rack. There's vomit from the 3rd rack all the way down to the floor.
So I was in. Yeah, that was pretty wild. So I was in the middle rack, and the guy on the top rack threw up, and he threw up on my buddy's shoes, who was in the bottom rack. And I'm sitting there, and I hear the guy throw up, and you hear it all hit the ground, dude. It sounded like someone just dropped the thing of like cooked apples on the ground, like cooked apple chunks. And my buddy, I could hear his rack curtain open, and he's like, "Oh hell no!" And he just shuts the thing, goes back to bed. And one of the other guys came in and was he like had like some Windex or something. All you could hear was like of him like squirting the Windex bottle, like trying to clean everything up. And then the next day we get up, and this guy has freaking got his uniform and stuff on, and his one sleeve is down past his elbow, the other one's up in his armpit. And one of the chiefs came in and was like, "Listen, do not let him leave this room, like at all, like until he can like freaking wake up and like he was awake, but I mean he was like hungover."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Just go get him some like water, go get him some like snacks and shit, and come back, and do not let him leave this room, because we're there with freaking there's like 6 or 7 other fucking commands here." And so we had to kind of just nurse him back to health a little bit. We got that nice mess deck lemonade that they made. That stuff will set you straight. We were in Dutch. I had I got hungover, and I had my buddy. I was like, just take this bottle. I had him one of like those Yeti bottles, and I was like, just fill it up with that lemonade. And dude, that's all I was drinking, because that stuff just hits different.
Dude, something that hit real good. We had pulled into San Diego, and we had went out drinking, and I don't know what time it was, but we came back, and whoever the cook was on the boat made delicious. Were you out with us that night?
I'm trying to remember. I think I might have been.
I don't know, man, but this cook made some of the best pizza I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, I was there.
Like, it wasn't just good boat food. It was just good. It was good pizza. It was good.
What would Dave Portnoy say?
I don't know. He'd probably rate it.
If he did one bite, what would you rate it?
Maybe,
what would you rate it?
I'd say like a 5 or 6.
It's nothing, dude. Was it floppy? was it floppy? Did it have flop?
I don't know. Maybe it was just good boat food.
Yeah, probably.
You know what? Actually, now that I remember it, I was there with you. We left we were drinking on the rooftop. And
That's
we got
right.
back.
Yep.
All it was bread.
Dude, that's all you need.
Pizza, but like it was like the bread that was left, and we're like, oh, I'm so hungry, and like we started eating it, and it was like, this is actually pretty good.
Dude, that's all good.
Yeah.
We would come back, we'd get our bread rations, because that's all that was left out in Dutch, like from dinner.
Yeah.
Was the bread, and I'd be like, all right, let's get our bread rations. Get 2 or 3 of them. Go
Well,
to
that's
bed,
like-
watch a movie.
Yeah, you speaking about bread rations, you know how they have the morale night for cooking with pizzas every Saturday?
Dude.
We had, what was it? I think it was our 3rd week underway on our last deployment, and the Chiefs were making pizza.
Sure.
Dude. Worst fucking pizza I've ever had
Been
in my
there.
fucking life.
Been there.
Ass and
It
cheese.
was, dude, it was thick, dense bread. Terrible.
Not good.
Burnt, yet still undercooked.
They asked us if we wanted to do one of those nights, and one of the guys with us was like, yeah, I'd love to make the boat of beef Wellington.
Dude, we had one of those on my 2nd deployment, and I went through and I set up with one of the cooks when we were going to do it, and we're like, okay, we'll do something simple. We'll do steak and eggs. Because you just make a bunch of steaks and you just make eggs. Like, it's not that fucking difficult. Well, it wouldn't have been that difficult if the guy knew how to use a clock. Because I went through and I was like, hey, when do you want us to start cooking? And he was like, come here at 1500. And I said, the first 1500 or the second 1500? And he said, the first 1500. I was like, okay. Went down there. We made the steaks, whatever. We're making them. We got the stuff set up. Make sure we have enough eggs and everything. And then I'm like, hey, when are we serving this? And he was like, oh, well, come back at 1700. And I was like, well, at, 1600, we're going back to 1400.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked initially if you wanted us to hear the first 1500 or the second 1500 for how long this is going to take. He was like, we'll just throw them in the warmer. So these steaks sat in the warmer from basically 3:30 to 4, and then we went back to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. It would have been easier to eat my boot than these things, right? So they're hard as a rock. It's like some damn fucking shoe leather. The whole boat, dude. They all like, I don't know what it was, because like they used to call it by like birthing areas, but I guess like that week is like when they decided to stop, right? Yeah. So like the whole boat shows up. There's like 150 fucking people. Well, once the first 2 or 3 people got their steak, dude, everybody in that line knew no steak. So we have a shit ton of steaks in the back, and now everyone's ordering eggs to order.
Oh.
So we got people trying to make eggs to order, and then we had some Marines with us who were like linguists, and the Russian linguist, she was like, I'll take egg whites. And literally the guy who was making the eggs, he just looks at her with this like deadpan look, and just takes the yolk from the egg and just flings it and just sticks it right to the back of the griddle. Dude, I think we went through, like, until we pulled back in, dude, like they couldn't do eggs to order in the morning, because we went through like hundreds of eggs for dinner, because that's all that anyone ate, dude.
Oh my God.
Everybody on board got like 3 or 4 eggs, and there's 150, 160 people.
See, as bad as our schedule was that me and you had, it was still nice, because if you were on the morning shift or the day shift, you would have a chance to get breakfast way before everybody else.
Yeah. Right, because you could come down, you're already awake.
Like, breakfast, starts at 6 or 6:30?
Yeah.
Something like that. So there's about a 30 minutes where virtually nobody is showing
dude,
up.
Everyone's always there last 15 minutes.
It's like,
breakfast.
you have 2 warrant officers that wake up at 3 in the morning for no reason.
Yep.
And then,
they don't go to bed, they're just in their charging dock.
So, yeah, it's just you and, a few BMs, right?
Yeah.
And so you would actually be able to sit and eat your breakfast. And, you didn't have to wait for all this. Everybody who gets their eggs to order, you weren't waiting in line for 30 minutes.
Right.
But I got to say, the food on our boat, on our last one, was not that bad. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
My next one, though, I heard the cooks aren't that great.
It depends. So when I was there, granted it was 5 years ago, they like salt a lot, but it's all brand new people now. But there was one cook, and she was super nice, very, very pleasant person to be around with. But she would talk with you, and you could just see that there was nothing going on. And like you would ask her a question, and she would just not respond to the question that you asked. And I remember I was in line one day for dinner with one of the other guys on the team, and his food always got fucked. So I go through and I get whatever they were freaking serving that day, and then she literally just takes some salt and just dumps it in like the butter. And just like scoops it out, and you could hear it on the bottom, like sand, dude. Like she's just scooping a freaking sandbox, and just dumps it on his shit. And he's like, "Why the fuck?" Like every single time she sees me, and she's like, "He wants more salt," and just dumps it. She didn't even mix it. She just dumped it in and just scooped the shit out. But that was also the same one where, how like at nighttime they'll have the mess deck lights, and it's like that red or like the real dark blue color.
Dude, that was my favorite time to eat. I would love being. That's another reason why I like.
Do you like surprises?
No.
Okay. I didn't know what we were having, and I'm looking, and I'm like, okay, there's like some bread, shrimp, obviously, because it's a certain shape.
Yeah. And
then I'm like, I guess it's some kind of beef or whatever with it. So I'm like, this is weird, but like something's not adding up. Mm-hmm. So we had those little stupid keychain lights, and I take the thing out and I shine it. We got served a slice of French toast shrimp. And then the mysterious meat on our plate was those like cow tails.
Oh.
And I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Like, none of this shit. It's not even like I could not eat one of the things. Like, none of this shit. Like, I'm either going to have shrimp with no sauce or anything, just shrimp, cow tails, or a piece of French toast with no syrup or anything. It's just bread with powdered sugar on it.
Oh.
I was like, this sucks, dude.
Well, that's bad. So that like, on our boat, like the cooks were pretty serious about, the daytime meals. And I was looking forward to the whole mid-rats thing, because
that's where it's at.
Because Caleb was like, oh yeah, dude, the cooks will, have like their signature thing that they like to cook, because it's an off-menu meal. It's their time to shine. It's sort of like a morale booster, right? Because you're fucking working nights, right? All right, so the second half of the deployment, I'm working nights. First weekend, dude, corn dogs 4 nights in a row.
Check. Was it a 2-fer or a 3-fer? How many of those things you get down your gullet?
Well, I mean, I had 2.
Hell yeah.
I was fucking starving. Well, because... well, no. Well, all right, hear me out. Because I'd work nights. I'd sleep all morning, and I'd wake up around noon.
Okay.
So lunch was done.
Yep.
So I'd miss breakfast. I'd miss lunch. My only meals were dinner and mid-rats. So dinner was usually good, but mid-rats was, corn dogs.
Sure.
4 times in a row.
It's like you're at a fair.
Dude, well, you know how small, like, the taquitos are?
Yeah.
Right? Like, they're really tiny. One of the nights, it was just 2 taquitos. I'm pushing 230 pounds.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Eating 2 meals a day.
Well, I mean, you made up for it at my house. So, I mean, I don't think that lasted too long.
Oh, no.
That you were famished.
Oh, I lost.
We sorted you out.
Dude,
we sorted you out.
When I was working nights on that patrol, I lost some weight for sure.
Dude, that's what they should put all the people that are freaking like overweight and overtaped, dude. It should be like your mandatory nights.
Yeah. It's not a bad
lose
idea.
weight.
Actually, not a bad idea. Yeah.
They'll lose weight because there's nothing to eat, dude.
Mm-mm.
And you need to get sleep because then they start running drills at fucking 9 a.m.
Yeah.
You got to get sleep.
Yeah. Dude,
So-
see, I'm all about the whole body positivity thing. Sometimes.
Did you see the lady? Did you see that lady, that rapper or whatever with Lyft? She's suing Lyft.
Like the ride, share ride?
Yeah.
Or
Did you
ride
see
share
this shit?
company?
So there's this lady, and she's like, I don't know, 480 pounds or something, for something,
Quarter of
right?
a ton.
A
Almost
large,
a quarter of a ton.
rotund human. And the Lyft driver showed up, and I don't know what car he was in, but he showed up,
Honda
and he was
Civic.
like, I can't take you, you're not, 1, you're not gonna make it in the car. 2, you're not gonna be able to buckle up, and 3, like I can't take you to where you need to go. So like I'm gonna cancel the ride. And apparently she's suing Lyft for like discrimination. And then
Did she even try
Lyft-
calling a pickup truck?
well, the thing is, Lyft sent out
It's a
a
forklift.
message and was like, we don't condone this kind of activity from our drivers
What?
and whatever. And it's like, brother, this isn't Uber Eats. This is Lyft. Like, they're taking you somewhere. So, like, what do you mean you don't condone this? It's not safe. Like, it's literally unsafe if the person can't buckle up. Because if they got into an accident, you'd probably get on the driver about, like, why weren't they buckled?
Oh.
So, like, you need to pick what side you're on.
Well,
of this.
I saw this video the other day, and it was a very big, like, pushing 400 plus pounds.
Right.
And I guess her whole thing on social media is trying to show that public spaces or places should be like more body style.
I mean, I
like
can go with
body
airplane seats
inclusive.
being bigger.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I
not gonna lie.
wouldn't mind either. I mean, come on.
Right.
But but she's she's in this, I think it was like I don't know if it was a barber shop or whatever. It might have been like some sort of salon. She goes in and then she goes, all right, these are the chairs that are usually there for patrons that are waiting for their appointment or waiting for the next seat. And it's just like a regular folding chair. Like, yeah, is it a little uncomfortable if you're going to be sitting there for hours? Yeah. But, I mean, really, in all reality, you're going to be sitting there for maybe 30 minutes to wait for your appointment. Or stand. Yeah, or stand. No, I mean, her ankles can't handle it. But... but but then she's like, all right. So, I mean, at least she's not just complaining. She's offering a solution. But her solution was this, like, steel reinforced chair with multiple braces. And it's like, I don't know, 36 inches wide.
Sounds like a piece of sex equipment.
With hydraulics.
Yeah, it's got these foot stirrups.
But like, this is her solution. Easily a multiple $100 chair.
Right.
With braces.
Does it have wheels on it by chance?
No, it did not have wheels.
Just checking.
Two really large wheels.
Yeah, 2 really large wheels with a little handbrake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we can you just like push it?
Yeah.
You're talking about like a wheelchair or a go-kart?
Yeah, it's like a chair with wheels.
Oh,
I don't know.
Okay.
Something.
Dude, have you ever done those go-karts that are like really, really fast?
Yeah.
They have.
Well, wait. With or without engines?
What?
No, like with that. Oh, you like a
what?
electric
There's like
ones?
a go-kart that's like the ones that are like on the slide.
Oh, like those
And, like,
tracks that go through the mountains?
No.
Those are fun.
Yeah.
Those are fun. I want to do those.
And then
Oh, it's like a blast. Until the friggin' idiot in front of you doesn't go fast. Can't even go around him. Like, dude, if I'm doing that thing, I'm blasting through, dude. I want to pull some G's going around it. I don't have time to be going 10 miles an hour. I'm cooking, dude. That brake is going to get burnt out in the last, like, 100 feet because it's going to take a while to slow me down. Friggin' 240 plus whatever that thing weighs.
You're a weapon flying through there at that point.
Yeah, dude, that brake's not going to make it.
Dude,
I'm going to pull back on it, and the friggin' thing's going to snap off, and I'm just going straight into the fucking...
Just gritting for dear life, and before you know it, your ass is scraping on the pavement.
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing with those is it's not even like there's any, like...
cheeks gripping.
Oh!
Yeah, but you would think for those that they would have, like, a slower stop thing to, like, decelerate you, or, like, have it go into water, so it kind of, like... is in like a couple inches of water to like slow it down. You kind of get like in the splash zone a little bit. No, dude, it just stops. Like there's just like a thing at the end, and like if you hit that dude, you're getting sent straight out the front. Or if someone's in front of you going slow, dude, like forget about it. They're done because you can't stop. I can't stop. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. I don't know. I think it would be a lot of fun to do those.
Can't stop, won't stop.
No.
Dude, let's do it. Do they have anything like that here in Texas?
I'm sure maybe like further west.
Yeah.
Or like maybe, or I would even think maybe in Fredericksburg, with like in the Hill Country.
They might. I don't know. We could look.
Yeah, it's
See,
cool.
that'd be pretty crazy.
Dude, that'd be fun.
Dude, imagine if they had a triple, and we all go in there, and it's like, watch out.
Ooh, like a little bobsled.
Yeah, like a bobsled. Yeah. Bobsled team, and they're like, okay, maximum weight for each person is 180 pounds. Yeah, we're good. We get in there and just burn the shit out of this thing, dude.
This thing's probably meant for 12-year-olds.
Yeah, we're 12. Brakes going, just red hot.
We'll kind of do like the regular thing. Once we get going, we'll just like hold the brake a little bit just so it like cooks out and then doesn't do anything. And then you're like hitting it. It's like freaking glowing.
It's basically welded.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, the friction weld.
Yeah.
Beat all the other kids.
Yeah.
Because they're flying off to the sides.
Yeah. Someone's yelling at us or they're coming down. You need to move. I can't. That'd be pretty fun.
That sounds like a good time.
We should look into that.
We should. I'd be game.
It's just, you know how many times I've been to a place where I thought it was going to be welcoming for adults, but it turns out that everyone there is a child.
Where are you going?
I went to a trampoline park for the first time.
Okay.
And
was there also a kid's birthday party going on that day?
No. So I think I was 22, 23 years old. I got back from when I first contracted in Afghanistan. And
Really suspect.
Well, like, I come
Just
back.
saw war, and I'm gonna go to a trampoline park.
Yeah, that's the
gonna hang out
best
with a bunch
place
of
with
your
someone
kids.
with severe PTSD to go to. So, like,
There's like a bunch of garbage everywhere.
Start beating up a kid.
Here's a soccer ball.
It's a bomb.
Anyways, I got back after a year-long contract, and my buddies were talking about a trampoline park. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And, like, it's a gym that's made up entirely of trampolines. I'm like, that sounds so freaking cool. I'm like, we should go. And we go, and we're in line with all these kids. And I'm like, this is kind of weird. But then I saw adults. I'm like, all right, this is kind of cool. So we get out there, and there's only kids playing inside this place. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can have fun. But I had a great time. I'm just like, we were playing dodgeball, and like, there's like 5 grown-ass adults, like just beaming kids. And they had like that one pit at the end with like all the foam, like the cube foam. You just jump into it. Mm-hmm. So I started to catch on pretty quick, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm done like jumping around for a bit. I'm gonna hang out with the adults. And I go over there, and I'm hitting on moms, and yeah, and one of the moms was like, "Oh, which ones are yours?" I pointed at my group of friends. I'm like, "Oh, those are mine over there." And like, "Oh, yeah." So I convinced them that they were all like mentally challenged.
Dude, imagine if you pointed to some random kids and it was her kids.
Oh no! Like I pointed straight at the adults that
Big
I was
risk.
with, and they're like, "Oh, okay, he's their caretaker." And I'm like, "Yeah." So it couldn't. It played off so much better when one of my best friends comes over and she like says hi to him, and he's like, "Hi." It sounded so ridiculous. He's having such a good time, and his adrenaline's going, and he's just like, "Hi." So like, I played it off, and they were convinced. Like, all right, yeah, these guys are a bunch of I can't say the word on here. But anyways, so yeah, I got in the car, and they were like, "Saw you talking to moms." I'm like, "Yeah, it was, it was kind of cool." And they're like, "What were you guys talking about?" I was like, "Basically, how you guys are all freaking idiots." And I told them you guys were all mentally challenged, and they're like, "What?" And literally convinced that whole group of women that they were all like in some sort of institution, or I don't know, like a therapy.
It was a group therapy thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, they gotta do something.
it was something. I go from war to
War to a trampoline park.
Yeah, that'll soothe you right there.
That's right.
Yeah,
Making everyone believe I'm watching a bunch of autistic adults.
pretty big challenge.
I mean,
Can I
that's
say
military.
that? Yeah. All right.
Should be able to.
I can't say the other word.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't they do the executive order that like got that back, or was that a fucking meme? Was that real? Did he allow it? Was that a meme? That wasn't the video I sent you.
No, that was the video you sent
No,
us.
there was something else where I think where they signed it where like certain words aren't like, it was when they're going through all like the DEI and everything, like certain words aren't like banned per se.
Like, what words would be banned? I mean, I understand, like... okay.
Let's go through it.
Well,
Let's make a list.
All right, yeah, okay. I guess... not I guess, but I know that there's, words, as time changes,
well, like there's some words that
the
like
culture changes.
when like an airliner is landing, right, and it's like a retard, right? Like there's that, right, which maybe in some context
that was
isn't.
the time zones when we retarded the clocks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally on the planet of the day.
Sometimes you'll see frickin' like on the road signs there'll be a picture of a truck and it's like no retarders, and I'm like, well, that's not nice. It's true, dude. You'll go out, you'll see some places where it's like a big hill and they got a picture of just a 18-wheeler cab and it just says no retarders. And like they couldn't have used no air brakes, no Jake brakes, no retarders was the.
Could you imagine one trucker like, oh god? What's he gonna do?
They just hit the runaway ramp.
Launches that truck into space.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that we can't say.
I mean, Depends where you are, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
What you're talking about. If you're talking about stopping something, you're going to retard it. Right?
You're going to slow it.
Well, like in music.
You slow it.
Like in music, retard means to slow.
Right, that's what it means. Yeah. That's why it's used in that other way. Right, is it clicking?
I mean, it's clicked. It's just...
I was going to be like, what are you retarded? I had to say it all right. I was losing it.
All right, that was good.
I can see his eyes are like fucking twitching.
My good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that's not swollen.
Yeah, why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, what happened? What happened with that? And then we'll
take a break.
Well, yeah, we'll wrap it up for this one here because we're at like an hour and 20 already.
I took my contact out and I scratched my eye.
Yeah, like how?
That's it. I mean, I wasn't like shit my finger.
Obviously, you're doing something.
I clipped my fingernails.
Okay.
And
it hit your eye.
I was taking my contact out after I clipped my fingernails, and when I went to, I usually bend it, and when I did, I got her good. Sorry, it wasn't as dramatic.
She just like clawed your eye.
I did.
Yeah, because we're just like sitting at work. And
oh, dude, that was great at work after.
Oh,
everybody's who was that? I was like Stamper.
Well, Chief walked in and he's like, "Hey, where's Stamper?" And I'm
Stamper.
like, "Oh, he poked his eye out."
He
goes, "What?"
Gouged his eye.
Well, I think Chief seemed a little off that morning, and as I said Stamper poked his eye out. He's like, "What?"
Yeah.
I mean, if I
that's not okay, not literally, but
not literally, but it's like swollen and he can't open it.
Yeah. I was up all night. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't close my eye. It was just watering, just draining, and like. Just debate on going to the emergency room, and then I was like, "Chelsea, is my eye okay?" And then she just like looks super pissed and turns on the light. It's like, "Oh, jeez!" And I'm like, "It's not that bad."
In that deep of a voice too.
Just like that, actually. Oh, jeez! Oh, and like I love her for it.
It's a little thing between her and I.
Yeah, she sounds manlier than I do.
It's a little like gender role play.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I love you. I'll be home soon.
Make some more of those cookies if you got time, please. Thanks.
Oh my god, those chocolate
Dude, those
cookies.
things, I housed them. I housed them, dude. Like literally for, I don't know, probably 3 days after that party, dude, I ate nothing but fucking cookies and just straight cookies, garbage, mac and cheese.
Cookies and fudge.
And fudge,
yeah. Oh yeah, she gave me like 2 pounds of fudge.
Yeah.
She's a baker.
And why would I want that to go to waste?
Right.
So I eat it.
Well, and then it's funny because the second time I was like, because you were like, "Hey, is there anything we can bring?" I was like, "Well, she could make some of those cookies again," and she made like fucking 40 of them.
Well, when we were at that Christmas party,
no.
So your wife was like, "Hey, I made you guys some cookies. Don't forget it." And we're like, "All right." So
won't forget them. Let's put them in this corner. We're not.
Well, no. So my wife puts them by the in the corner somewhere where people are putting their coats. So she knows that it's like a specific spot. Like, it's not a spot where guests would go and start picking at food. And, we forget them. And then I said, "Hey, we left our cookies there last night. Can you find them?" And he couldn't find them. And we were upset because he's like, "Oh, yeah, somebody probably just took them." I'm like, "What? Did you look? Did you look at all in your house?"
Well, no, I wasn't expecting the cookies to be underneath the fake-ass tree in the corner. In the front room, dude. Like, if you would have said, like, "Hey, I put them, like, where people..." I, like, went in, like, the kitchen and the living room and, like, where we were. I didn't... If you were like, "Hey, I put them in this room where nobody was and it doesn't look like anybody goes in," dude, I would have known.
When I thought...
Or if you would have said, "Hey, the room with the fireplace
When
in
I thought somebody took those cookies, I was pissed.
Or the room with the fake frickin'...
We got them.
Yeah.
Fruit tree in it. I would have known what you were talking about.
Yeah.
When you said you left some cookies, that doesn't help me.
It could mean anything.
Yeah.
It sounds sexual, actually.
Yeah. But I think that's a wrap.
Yeah.
For the first...
Okay.
I think that's episode 2.
Yeah.
Gonna be done, and then we'll come back for 3 and maybe 4, depending on what's going on.
Yeah.
We got some cold Dominoes downstairs. Maybe gnaw on some of that.
Yeah.
But all right, yeah, that'll be a good one. Next one is gonna be the donkey lady. It's gonna be in that one, and a few other little spooky tales. So we'll see. We'll kind of switch it up, and then we'll go back to Donald and RFK doing his thing. We'll see if there's any updates. He's doing his confirmation right now, so we'll see if there's anything going on with him. But alrighty, everybody. See you in the next one.